Hello, I'm Heather Dawson and welcome to California Life. As always, we bring you the best of California every week on our show. So are you ready for some football? Well, the Super Bowl has basically turned into another holiday. And as we head toward the big game, let's see what all the fuss is about.
They say today's a national holiday. Isn't they? Maybe it's a Seattle holiday and a Denver holiday, but for the rest of you, it's a day of watching a team that's not your team playing the biggest game of the year. That's rough. That's like going to prom and seeing that girl you love and watching her dance with some guy who isn't you. Some guy named Sean. For 4 hours. And there are stats on Sean and breakdowns of Sean's moves and highlights of Sean and Sean in really slow motion. But this isn't prom. This is football. And you're watching some other team get lucky. Today's not a holiday for you. Somebody stole your holiday. You need to take it back. And you can. Hop on TurboTax, click on Federal Free Edition, answer some questions about yourself, and before you know it, you could be holding the biggest check of your year. And that day is your day. Not Seattle's, not Denver's, and not Sean's. Intuit TurboTax.
Radio Shack? Okay.
What?
The 80s called. They want their store back.
It's time for a new Radio Shack. Come see what's possible when we do things together.
You're too late.
You want a piece of my heart?
I can do that. I can do that.
We can do this!
You can do that.
And after the break, meet the real winners of the Super Bowl and see the better side of Coach Pete Carroll. It's all coming up when we continue with California Life. Don't go away. Well, he's one of the most famous coaches of the NFL, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Coach Pete Carroll about his contributions off the field right here in California.
In Pete Carroll's 9th season as head coach of the USC Trojans, he's already faced disappointing loss, leaving many California residents wondering what the future holds for the one-time champions. Well, as Pete Carroll learned a long time ago, it all depends on how you look at it.
I kind of live my life day to day thinking something good is just about to happen, you know. So that's about as upbeat and positive as I can see it. I don't mean it to be that way. That's just the way I've kind of grown up.
Peter Clay Carroll grew up in a suburb of San Francisco, California. His father, Jim, was a liquor salesman, and his mother, Rita, a homemaker, and an incurable optimist.
My mom was so supportive. I always look back to, and she always was kind of directed me towards the good things and the things that we could do. And you know, I had such a great support system, and I think that kind of kept things in line for me.
Carroll earned his bachelor's degree in Northern California at Pacifica University, where his performance as starting free safety also earned him a spot on the All-Pacific Coast football team. Twice. After college, Carroll spent a year trying out for the now-defunct World Football League in his hometown of San Francisco. He didn't make the team. Carroll realized that his athleticism would not be his ticket to success and decided to return to Pacifica University as an assistant coach while earning his master's degree in physical education. Then, in 1977, a 26-year-old Pete Carroll took on a defensive coaching job at the University of Arkansas under legendary head coach Lou Holtz. A year later, he headed to Iowa State to work with another coaching great, Earl Bruce, who Carroll followed to Ohio State the following year. After nearly 20 years in various assistant coaching positions, including stints in the NFL with Buffalo, Minnesota, and New York, in 1994, Carroll finally received his first NFL head coaching position for the New York Jets, an opportunity that proved disappointing. He was fired after only one season.
The occurrences have never knocked me down, and they've never kept me down, and I think that's all goes way back to the home.
Home, San Francisco, Carroll's next stop after being let go by New York. He moved back for 2 years and found success as an assistant with the 49ers. Carroll then spent 2 years as head coach in New England, where he still holds the franchise's second-best winning percentage. His next move would be life-changing. On December 15, 2000, Pete Carroll took the job that would make him a Southern California icon and a two-time national champion, head coach of the USC Trojans. He'd found a way to channel his high energy and optimistic approach, creating an atmosphere for his players that would inspire success. Carroll describes the process.
An empowerment process that really is trying to build people up to become the best that they can. And so all of that just doesn't have any room for negativity. It doesn't have any room for going, looking at the dark side of things. And so that's just kind of the environment and the culture that we've created here, and it's served us very well.
In 2001, Carroll found a way to bring his team's environment of hope to the streets of South Central Los Angeles with a program called A Better LA. It's a nonprofit committed to supporting Los Angeles communities and redirecting gang members from negative to positive activities and positive visions for their future.
I go in with people that, in the different areas that are familiar with the area so that we can meet people. Basically, we listen. More than anything, we listen, and hear out, what's going on and what's up, and just in our presence and as we hear things, we figure out ways that we might be able to connect this or that and make things move.
The program also brings young people from inner city neighborhoods to USC to meet the players and find encouragement to move into productive lifestyles and careers. Carroll says his players love it as much as the kids do.
And they look into the eyes of those kids, and obviously our kids feel kind of their situation a little bit, and they can they look back to when they were kids, and they see it. So they make a good effort to connect with them and bring a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy, and a little bit of hope that maybe someday they could be in a situation somewhat like this.
Pete Carroll is always scouting, if not for athletic prowess, then for motivated members of the community to help lead the effort to focus energies away from crime and gangs and on to improving their lives, which in many cases means avoiding a statistical probability of death or prison.
The great ones always are the ones with the greatest will and the greatest desire to prove who they are and to compete on a regular basis.
Competing to improve, be it on the field or on the streets. Pete Carroll just keeps looking ahead, not just thinking something good is about to happen, but making it happen. For California Life, I'm Tom Sparks.
And after the break, meet the real cutest winners of the Super Bowl season.
If you get a ball, you're gonna be happy for the rest of your life. When you gave me the ball, I just had a big smile on my face, like this.
When I started Sunday giveaway, as we call it now, I never imagined it would be what it is today.
Cam kind of started this, but through the last couple years, multiple guys, when they score, have taken upon themselves.
Cam threw the touchdown to Ted. I went down to the railing. I ran. No one saw me run because I ran so fast.
Gives the ball to me, and I was like, holy cow, my dad's gonna squeeze me hard as he can.
Our fans in the first row have really embraced it.
We've certainly seen a shift in the calls we get for seating in the end zone. To have this special tradition, we're glad that it brings so many smiles to people's faces.
He picked me because I was doing my Superman thing. I had my cat ears and my tail. Because I look cute.
I got back to school. Oh, wow.
I'm like popular in school now. This is me, that's Tekken.
Very good drawing. It just shows what Panther Nation is all about.
You know, for me, at my vantage point, that's all I pretty much see. I see hands, 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 hands.
It's like so huge and like, I don't know how Cam throws this ball. Cam's one of my favorite players.
There's like a kid stuck in his body.
He can like dab and stuff.
You know, I'm a kid at heart. My biggest thing is to bring joy to people. A little gesture goes a big way.
You have like a 2% chance of getting it, but I was one of the lucky ones.
Innovator and cutting-edge business futurist, Irfan Khan has over 2 decades of experience in global enterprise business operations and has been featured in the likes of Forbes and the Huffington Post. As president and CEO of Bristlecone, Irfan has been leading the company's global business expansion, which has resulted in consistent double-digit growth. Under Irfan's leadership, the San Jose-based Bristlecone is taking a modern approach to improving and reshaping supply chains. The company takes its name from the bristlecone pine tree, one of the oldest and most resilient living things on Earth. With that in mind, Irfan has helped Bristlecone become a leader in business supply and implementation solutions.
We look at companies and advise them, do they need to modify it? Do they need to disrupt their supply chain so that they can actually face the disruption in the market or have a competitive advantage? I believe in something that my favorite character, Bruce Wayne, in the last Batman vs. Superman movie said, and he said that there are certain things that if there is even a 1% possibility of them occurring, you have to plan for them as though they are an absolute certainty.
Irfan is a pivotal part of the leadership team at Mahindra Group, a $19 billion global business.
The Mahindra Group has been conducting business in the US for more than 20 years. We employ more than 3,000 people in the US, and Mahindra has emerged as a leading player in information technology and farm equipment, as well as sustainable transport solutions and multi-purpose aircraft.
Irfan drives the RISE philosophy of alternate thinking for client-focused innovation that helps build supply chains that are transparent and increase trust for the millions of customers Bristlecone clients serve. Under Irfan's direction, Bristlecone helps companies anticipate potential disruptions and find ways to work around them.
We want to make sure that your supply chain is robust, which means it can sense what's coming in, it can react, it can learn, it can flourish, even during the time of disruption.
And those times of disruption can make a company vulnerable to breaking down. But Bristlecone provides clients with a digital transformation that makes their supply chain anti-fragile.
An anti-fragile supply chain would have 4 qualities. End-to-end visibility, which makes it possible to detect, understand, and weather the changes. Real-time adjustment, so you can react while there is still a chance to do some good. Benchmarking against both industry peers and your own internal needs and goals, and moving away from pipeline to network approach. By eliminating single source provider, you actually introduce resilience and flexibility in the system.
At the center of Bristlecone's solutions is their ability to enhance supply chains through digital transformation. This gives companies the opportunity to flourish and help solve problems before they occur.
We feel that we are not just solving a technical problem or a business problem, we're actually solving a much bigger problem. That's the cause. That's our mission, to make sure we create a world where the supply chain becomes transparent and people are able to see a lot of things that they can't see and they can solve those problems.
The innovations that Irfan and his team at Bristlecone have created help businesses improve their bottom line.
Bristlecone Labs, which is the innovation hub for the company. We incubated this division 2 years back, and the purpose of Bristlecone Lab is to nurture advanced analytics application and IoT platforms. There is that 1% chance, and it's not about if, it's about when. Your disruption is happening everywhere today. And if you're not disrupting yourself, it's very difficult to exist in today's piece.
Learn more at bcone.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life. The numbers are remarkable. 30 million Americans are living with diabetes. 8 million of those are undiagnosed. For those who have been diagnosed, the constant monitoring of glucose levels is part of daily life.
Given this high number, the burden on the patient and on the health system in the United States is huge.
And it means that diabetes patients have to take medication and follow special diets. And while routine finger sticks have been the standard of glucose testing for more than 40 years, nearly half of people living with diabetes don't test their glucose levels on a regular basis. And that can lead to serious health complications.
They can have heart problems like heart attack, they can have stroke, kidney disease, nerve damage, foot ulcers, they can go blind. And the patient involvement in their care is very important. It's actually crucial.
As you might imagine, most diabetes patients don't like the finger stick method of glucose testing, but that is changing for many with diabetes with the new Freestyle Libre continuous glucose monitor, recently approved by the FDA.
This new continuous glucose monitor is obviously different than the classical finger prick, but it's also very different from the other existing continuous glucose monitors on the market. It is really the first continuous glucose monitor that actually eliminates completely the need for finger stick.
It's providing a lot of information, readings every minute, recorded every 15 minutes, so the patient can see their reading and they can adjust to what's going on.
It is also the longest wearable monitor on the market. Patients can wear it for 10 days continuously, so they can get a reading day and night.
This wearable technology is unobtrusive and providing diabetes patients with newfound freedom.
It's a small circle. It's like about the size of 2 quarters, and it gets placed on the back of your upper arm, and then there's a reader that you just scan right over it. So that's when you can see your reading, and that's what's really helpful for the people, because you don't have to carry so many things around, and you don't have to prick your finger, and so the device is tiny and painless, and people are really liking it.
If you or someone you know has diabetes, ask your doctor or healthcare provider if a continuous glucose monitor could help you. To learn more about the Freestyle Libre continuous glucose monitor, check out their website at freestylelibre.us. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
If your New Year's resolution to lose weight is losing steam, this may be why. Eating less leaves you hungry all the time.
And that sets us up for a vicious cycle of craving, feeling hungry, and when you're hungry, no matter willpower will keep you from grabbing something you're not supposed to have.
So, what do? Don't eat less. Learn to eat right.
You need the right combination of foods, high fiber carbohydrates, healthy fats, and an optimal protein intake so your appetite is under control.
Another secret to success is finding recipes you'll eat again and again.
I have a beautiful Thai peanut Buddha bowl here. Buddha bowls are totally in right now because they're chock full of plenty of plant-based goodies, and we've got some spiralized veggies in here. It's a great swap for pasta. I'm a pasta fan. And then we have some healthy protein, which helps to keep the hunger grounded.
Check out the new Eat Right, Not Less cookbook for more recipes.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, you can go to our website, californialifehd.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.